today I risked 2.5 points to make 16 points on ES. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what I saw that made me take that trade. Before I do, most of you guys watching this video are not subscribed yet. So if you're interested in learning about order flow or you already trade order flow, make sure you subscribe to my channel because I post free sauce like every single day. Also, make sure to check out my TikTok and my Instagram where I post strictly order flow related valuable content on there. So make sure you guys check those out. But with all that being said, let's just get right into how I found today's trade. All right, I'm sure a lot of you guys know the deal by now, but for those of you who are new here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys the context coming into today's session. I'm going to go over my levels and I'm going to explain to you my pre-market plan. That way we can get a better idea of the trade itself. So here is my plan for today. I drop it in my Discord every single morning. Here's the context. Nothing on the calendar today. We're opening up outside of yesterday's range where we gapped up. So that means we're opening up above yesterday's close and also in this case above yesterday's high. So my main levels today was this LVN from the close from yesterday. This LVN that formed right before the close from yesterday. This was my first main level. My next main level below that was where we rallied out at, which is right around here, starting from the 45, and I gave it down through LVN once again down to 37 roughly. So my plan was literally just this. If price pulls back into the previous day's close plus the LVN from 61 to 54, I want to play long, targeting the all-time high or the balance range high. And this is essentially the same idea for that next level below. So if this level breaks, then I can basically look to get long in this level, targeting either all-time highs or wherever we form a balance range high at, around there. You guys know that like most of the time, my trades are only around 10 to 15 points of profit. So my targets in my plans may be a lot more than 10 to 15 points. I normally will not hold all the way there. I just make sure that I get my piece that I need for that trade. So just keep that in mind. But as you can see though, I don't have any plans to get short for today, but I did take a short position today. So what happened there? What was that all about? So pulling up my trading view, this is the same levels that I just told you guys about, but these boxes right here are the trading sessions. So the blue is New York, yellow is Asia, red is London. If you guys want this indicator, it's right here. It's literally just called trading sessions. Some people ask me for it. Anyway, we are opening up outside of yesterday's range. This is known as a gap up. So something that can happen occasionally is that we can fill the gap or at least attempt to fill the gap. So I knew this, I didn't plan for this in my actual plan, but just knowing this. So pulling up bookmap here, this is the replay obviously. Opening price is, I'm blocking it, but it's right here at 78.75, okay? So right when we opened up, we sold off roughly 10 points around there. And on this little retracement back up to the opening price, what I spotted was buying getting trapped. So a little bit of that right here. And this is what really piqued my interest for this trade, because I already know if we can't hold the opening price or get above the opening price and hold it, we are most likely going to attempt to fill the gap, which is down at my key level where I want to be a buyer at for today. So I'm still kind of using my plan, keeping it in mind, but instead of trading off of my planned level, I'm kind of trading to my planned level. And that's something that I'm fine doing as long as the trade has a logical reason behind it and has a actual order flow data that backs it. Going against my plan in that sense where I'm still technically aligned with it is okay with me. I'm always okay with being flexible with my plan, but I absolutely need to have a logical reason with a level of interest and order flow confirmation if I'm going to do something like that. And that is actually what happened today. I definitely had everything that I needed. So first off, we're already seeing this divergence right here on the CVD, right? You can see all this buying is coming in, yet we are failing to hold above the opening price. So I'm going to skip this ahead a little bit more. And we are going to see this divergence happen once again right here at the 78s, which by the way, the open right here under my face says open is at 78.75. So this is what it looks like on bookmap. So I'm just noticing this. I'm seeing, all right, buyers are getting trapped here. There's probably a passive seller at the opening price. This is when I took it short at 76.25. If I show you guys the footprint chart, this is what it looks like on the footprint chart. It smacks you in the face, or at least it smacks me in the face. So like you can see this cluster of aggressive buying that's failing to move price, some delta right here. also have an exhaustion print right above where we opened up at. So following this buying right here, getting trapped, selling stepped in. You can see this by looking at, for one, the negative delta starting to come in after this. Two, if you just look at the delta candles on the bottom of the screen here, we came up, got positive, and then we eventually ended this footprint negative. So this is what you would call a delta flip, and a delta flip can help a lot with reversal setup. So this is basically an absorption reversal setup, right? So boom, I'm short off of this. So I'm short off of this footprint right here. My entry was at 76.25 and my stop loss was right above this absorption activity now that we had some selling already step in. So to be honest with you, my stop loss may have been a little bit tight, but I was okay with it. I figured if we get back above the opening price after this, I gotta be wrong. It is a little bit tight. Normally with absorption reversals, I like to give it a point or two. So instead of being stopped out at 2.5 points, which is right at the opening price, right at 78.75, instead I would probably want to give it up to the 79, somewhere just above this, in case we did have to come back and retest this. But if you remember from Bookmap, this was where that buying really started to get trapped at. So I was kind of viewing this situation here as like the retest basically. And that is why I was comfortable just putting it right at the opening price at 78.75, because my entry is pretty much right here. So this was some more buying that got trapped. So if this gets traded above, then I was just comfortable being wrong, and it is what it is, right? But this trade actually played out for me. And like I said, my target was the gap fill, which was all the way down at 760. I shouldn't say all the way down. It was really only like 16 points away, 10 points away. So immediately after that, you can see the selling comes in very strong. I got 10 contracts off at VWAP. I was short 30, by the way. 10 off of VWAP, which I believe was at 70 at the time. 10 contracts off of VWAP. That is definitely an aggressive scale. And then my stop loss was at break even as soon as I did that. Just let this play out for us. And obviously we sell off straight to our target. But something interesting is we were bouncing off or having some sort of reaction off of this LVN. If I pull up Sierra chart, this was an LVN from overnight that you actually can't even see anymore. So see this LVN right here. So this is that reaction we had right here. So that LVN actually ended around 60. So some sort of a reaction at that LVN. I took another 10 contracts off right here at the 65. I was only 5 points away from my final target. So I said, all right, if we bounce off of this LVN, I want to make sure that I get out majority of my trade. So I actually did take out another 10 here, 10 off of VWAP, 10 off at 65. Then I got 5 off right here after this bid came in and was trying to support. So I only had 5 micros left. So pretty much all out around the 65s, but not completely all out. And then I got all out right here at these 60s, where we just failed to really sweep through those 56s, which is what I wanted to happen. Obviously, had to be a little bit more patient for that. But that was the reason for my exit and my target and all that. So that was exactly how I played this one right here. After that, we bounced perfectly off of this 45 level that I had right here. So that worked out very well. The levels worked out. I just, instead of trading and waiting for my levels to trade, I was a little bit more flexible and traded to my levels, which I really don't have any problem with doing. You know, especially if we open up like 20 points above my level, I don't have a problem looking for a high quality setup into my level. I think that's fine with me, but that's the trade setup for you guys today. If you guys get value out of these videos, make sure you subscribe. I'm posting these every day. This is stuff that you guys are going to pay for a course or a mentorship. I'm literally giving you guys that for free. So understand that, take advantage of it, subscribe, like the video. If you need a Bookmap discount, link is in the description for a Bookmap discount. And with all that, I'll catch you guys in the next video.